Glory, hallelujah. Thank you, God. Glory, hallelujah. Amen. Has God been good to anybody in here? Some people that clap because good work enough. Have you been better than good to somebody in here? Yeah, I think I can everybody clap for work well. It's better than good. Amen. 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 I want to thank the pastor. Amen. New pastor in the area for coming and worshiping with us. God bless you. Amen. Amen. Word of God today is going to come from Obadiah chapter 1 verses 10 through 15. Obadiah chapter 1 verses 10 through 15. In Obadiah chapter 1 beginning in verse 10, this is what the scripture says. And why? Because of the violence you did to your close relatives in Israel, now you will be destroyed completely and filled with shame forever. For you deserted your relatives in Israel during their time of greatest need. You stood aloof, refusing to lift a finger to help when foreign invaders carried off their wealth and cast lots to divide up Jerusalem. You acted as though you were one of Israel's enemies. You shouldn't have done this. You shouldn't have gloated when they exiled your relatives to distant lands. You shouldn't have rejoiced because they were suffering such misfortune. You shouldn't have crowed over them as they suffered their disasters. You shouldn't have plundered the land of Israel when they were suffering such calamity. You shouldn't have gloated over the destruction of your relatives, looting their homes and making yourselves rich at their expenses. You shouldn't have stood at the crossroads, killing those who tried to escape. You shouldn't have captured the survivors, handing them over to their enemies in the terrible time of trouble. Days near when our Lord will judge the godless nations. As you have done to Israel, so it will be done to you. All your evil deeds will fall back on your own heads. The title of today's word is, I ain't going back and forth with you Edomites. I ain't going back and forth with you Edomites. Through the prophet Obadiah, God addresses the Edomites through a warning. You ask, who are the Edomites? The Edomites are descendants of Esau, who was the older twin brother of Jacob. You remember the story about Esau and Jacob, right? Jacob tricked his brother out of his firstborn blessing and birthright with the assistance of their mother, Rebekah, causing Esau to forever despise him. Jacob's name was later changed to Israel. I've learned in life that folk have their own personal reasons for not liking me. And most of the time, there's nothing you can do to change it. So if you just flat out don't like me, I definitely am not going to waste precious time and energy trying to cater to you in hopes that one day you might like or accept me. And that was Drina asked me to say it again. Let me say it again. So if you don't like me, I definitely am not going to waste precious time. Time is one thing you can't get back. I'm not going to waste precious time and energy trying to cater to you in hopes that one day you might like or accept me. And if you are Hades bent on being a cohort in my demise, all I have to say is, watch me smile. And let's see how this thing turns out. I love being God's child. Because the scripture is true that everything works to the good of them that love the Lord. I've learned to fight and smile at the same time. Patrick, you know what I'm talking about. You know? I can fight with the best of them, but I don't become a bitter person. Fight fearlessly. And all y'all know where I'm going to be on Friday. Hanging out with my grandbabies. On Bella, Nyla, and Ayani Friday. And soon coming south. I don't allow fighting to cause me to be bitter. Not enjoy life. That's when you lost focus on everything. That ain't what the fight about. You don't allow the fight to take your joy because that's where your strength. And there's some folk that you're going to be fighting for a long time, and since you're going to be in it for a long time, take you some regular time off and go and smile and enjoy yourself and recover and be ready to come back and fight some more. In verse 10, this is what the scripture says. And why? Because of the violence you did to your close relatives in Israel, now you will be destroyed completely and filled with shame forever. Yes, sir. Prophet tells the Edomites, because of what you did, you will be filled with shame and eternally destroyed. Have you ever heard the saying, your chickens will come home to roost? That's why you ain't got to fight. You get out there and see, this is how we do it. We show up for the fight. And then we watch God fight. Most people sit in the house and hide. No, God said you got to show up. We show up and God does his thing. When you are on the side of God, I'm talking to somebody right now, and you catching it on your job, you catching it in life. Oh, I hate to say this one, but God just put it on my heart. There's somebody even catching it in their relationship. But God says, if you show up, I'll fight the battle. I can't remember her name, but she was in the color purple. I don't remember if it was Celia or somebody else, but she did. It was Celia. Celia did things like that. What she say? The two you do right by me. That's just another way of saying your chickens is gonna come home to roost. Okay, for the Christians, you reap what you sow. That sounds a little better to you? God will work it out. And he tells the Edomites, he says, your chickens will come home to roost because of what you did. In due season, there's going to come shame and eternal destruction on your life. I heard it was this young preacher that preached the word, and he was motivated, excited. God spoke to him, and he spoke a word during Black History Month. Got excited about the moment. Spoke some truth. But you know what? When you speak truth, you put yourself in the furnace. You can't speak truth and don't expect it. That's one thing about being a truth speaker. A lot of folk ain't gonna like you. This young brother spoke truth. All of a sudden he started getting attacked. He ain't never been attacked like this before. Getting attacked and blamed and accused. Being this and being that. Brother reached out to upset. I mean, brother, you did a good job. But you're going to have to know that comes with the territory. That's it. That's it. Can't walk this walk and everybody love you. You can't be a true prophet of God. I'm talking about a true prophet. I'm not talking about the one that going to preach and say if you give $100, you're going to get $1,000. I ain't talking about that kind of prophet. I ain't talking about them kind. I'm talking about a prophet that's going to speak on behalf of God to the powers that be. Some folk not going to like that. And I say, so I encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. The Bible says, be not weary in what? Well doing. If you faint not, you're going to get what God has in store for you. But you can't get tired and you can't faint. There's going to always be some Edomites. Verse 11, after God warns them, in verse 11 is what he says. He says, for you deserted your relatives in Israel during the time of greatest need. And you stood aloof. Aloof means like, which way did you go? Which way did you go? You see it all, but you don't see nothing. Just aloof, just in the clouds. Ain't paying attention to nothing. But you see it, but you, I don't know what's going on. Say you deserted your relatives in Israel during their time of greatest need. You stood aloof, refusing to lift a finger to help when foreign invaders, ain't even the family, when foreign invaders carried off their wealth and cast lots to divide up Jerusalem. You acted as though you were one of Israel's enemies. Now, see, let me give you paint a little picture for you. Y'all know the story with Esau and Jacob. Esau was the oldest. He was supposed to get the firstborn rights, the dominant blessing. Jacob got him 2 times. First time he got him, he told him Esau was real hungry. You know, he was out there grinding and came in real hungry and his brother had some soup. But he was real hungry. He asked his brother, "I have some of your soup?" Brother said, "Yeah, for a price." It don't matter. He said, "Give me your birthright." Fine, it's yours. And he ate the soup. Well, the consequences to our actions. You gave that birthright up. Might not have been official in your mind, but you started in motion something that would affect you. And there's some of us today. We make some silly decisions in a moment. A moment that's going to be in our history in just a little while. But we make some permanent decisions in a moment of discomfort that will affect our eternity. He said, yeah, he ate it. Well, later on, this is how it went. His daddy was getting old. Daddy was going blind. And it was about time to get that blessing before daddy died. And y'all remember Daddy Isaac, right? And Isaac was in there, and Esau had gone out to go hunting and to get his daddy some venison. Anybody ever had some good venison before? I've had some. That's the red sauce. That's one of the one things I can't cook. And it was so good when I tasted it, I'm scared to even try because I might mess it up. I just want to go back and get that one. And he said he went to go get some venison. And while he was gone, his mother came to his younger brother, the one who he had given him the suit for his birthright that he probably wrote off. Said, hey, your brother gone. Go get your birthright from your daddy. And this is what you gotta do. You gotta cook exactly what he wants. Now I handle that because that's my man. I know how to cook for him. And so I'll cook it. But what you gotta do, let's go and get some animal hair. But see, your brother real hairy, and your chest look like Reverend Rawls' chest. And I got more hair on my head than I got on my chest. And he said, so we're going to put some hair all on your arms and hair on your chest, and we're going to get you smelling like you've been out there messing with animals. And he went into his daddy and, hey, Daddy, how you doing? Dad said, that's Esau. That don't sound like you, Esau. He said, no, Dad, I just got back and I went and I got your food and I prepared your food. And, don't sound like Esau. Let me feed you, boy. And he rubbed, yeah, you Esau. Because I know Jacob don't feel like that. And he gave him the soup, and his daddy put his right hand on his head and gave him the dominant blessing. Ain't but one of them. Gave him the dominant blessing and blessed him. And then he left with his blessing. Well, a little later on, Esau came back with the meal. Daddy, it's ready. Daddy, what's going on? What are you talking about? I went and got your food, but I know when you brought it to me. No, I just got back there. Daddy said, uh-oh. Somebody's played a trick. So I hate to tell you something. Can't take this one back. Think your brother tricked me. But he got the blessing. He said, I'm going to bless you. It ain't going to be like your brother's blessing. And he was mad. And so now, what he does, his descendants of Esau, they went and moved down to the southern portion of Israel. And if you're familiar with the layout, you got the 10 kingdoms up in the north area, but then down south you have Judah, and you have Benjamin down south, and they went and they moved down to the southern part. And now at this time, around 600, a little bit, the 6th century somewhere BC, the Babylonians come in. Now Israel is having a lot of power, but after King David and then Solomon, they start splintering and falling off. And they become weak. And then the Babylonians come in, and the Babylonians come in by storm. But the Babylonians also came in with the permission of God. You remember Nebuchadnezzar, you heard of him? Yeah, Nebuchadnezzars are always around. We got a Nebuchadnezzar in America right now. That Nebuchadnezzars are always around. And so he said, the prophet spoke to the Edomites, y'all were right down there by Judah. You all sat and watched foreign enemies come in, attack, destroy, and take captive your relatives. You got some harsh feelings. You got some things that need to be. But you sat and you watched the enemy come in, and you didn't lift a finger to stop it. They carried off their wealth. They cast lots and divided up Jerusalem, and you acted as though you were one of Israel's enemies. One thing I can't stand about some things that I see today, you got folk that sit around talking, I didn't even know it existed. What you talking about? Folk come to me earlier this week. I hear it all the time. He said, Reverend Rawls, I just don't understand why you saying that there's racism in St. Augustine. I've never seen it. Now, do you know what aloof means? He said you acted aloof when you saw your relatives being beaten and taken captive, and you looking around like you don't know what's going on. You can't figure out what's going on. And he says, when your relatives were invaded by Babylon, you stood off at a distance and acted ignorant to all that was happening. And I thought it was perfect for my sermon today. I have a lot of friends that's in circles that show me things that I don't normally get a chance to show you. And I saw where somebody had went and recorded a little clip of a statement I made at a commission meeting on Monday. And they recorded a little clip that I made. And I was serious. I don't back off of that. And I said it. And they turned it around and acted like I called the mayor to have a stroke. No, I'm serious. I ain't joking. And then the commentary. I ain't talking about folk that's way out there on the right. I'm talking about folk who claim to. Sometimes your biggest threat and your biggest enemy is the one that's sitting right next to you. You trying to figure out why you ain't going nowhere. Why am I just going and going and going and nothing? And your biggest threat, you looking at the one that's way out there with the hood and the flag, and that one standing right next to you. Got ankles tied to your car and put gas in you, put sugar in your tank. He said you sat right there and watched it and acted as if you knew nothing was going on. Aloof. You couldn't see it. You couldn't see all the pain that was being caused. You couldn't see the hurt and you couldn't see the harm. And I see it today in the body of Christ. You see it in the body of Christ. You see folk in the body of Christ that are always talking about Jesus, 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 Jesus. Jesus this, Jesus that, Jesus this, Jesus that. But then when it comes to addressing issues about lack of humanity and lack of morality, they're quiet. I'm going to really mess your mind up now. I'm going to mess your mind up real bad now. You see evangelists out there like Billy Graham, and you think, oh, that was the greatest prophet since Jeremiah. Yeah, I'm going to mess your mind up now. Greatest prophet since Jeremiah. Did that prophet ever speak on anything of social injustice? Salvation is more than accepting Christ and then waiting to go to heaven. Salvation is the work that is true that we get to put work down here so that folk can enjoy what God has created down here. Any Christian that believes it's all about just being saved so I can get to heaven, you miss the whole boat. You miss the whole boat of the reason God saved you. And here in this scripture, he said you stood afar off or aloof like you didn't act as if you didn't know anything to happen. You go all the way to Haiti and all the way to Africa to help somebody out. And you despise your own fellow citizen that's right among you. You sit and watch systems destroy them. God is not mocked concerning his promises. We're going to reap what we sow, and we can't claim ignorant when the day of the Lord arrives. All this tongue talking and all this stuff they talking about out there, all that stuff they talking about there, if you are not concerned about the quality of life that people live in the space that God has given you authority to maneuver, if you are not concerned about improving the quality of life for every human, a waste of a cross. Waste of a cross. And he says, you saw the Babylonians come in. You saw them take you, and you stood off aloof, refusing to lift a finger to help. It's deep in the church. It's deep in the churches. It's deep in the church. People are hurting in the church. It's almost like this right here. In this country, we talk about how much we love the military, man. I mean, people run through a wall and they start talking, oh, we love the military, we love the military. I can't tell. I can't tell when I see them out there on the streets homeless. I can't tell when I see them trying to get some help and some assistance because they went off and bought your walk to you. And then now they're hurting and they're pain, and now you make it difficult for them to get assistance. I can't tell. It's a talking point. It's a talking point. No, you don't tell me you love me. You show me. You love me. And we carry that, oh, we love it, we love it, we love it, we love it, we love the battle flag, we love it, we love it, we love it, we love it. You don't love nothing but yourself and what you can get. And he said, you sat there and you saw it happen and didn't lift a finger to help. Let me warn everybody in here. Let me warn you. Let me warn you. That's my job to warn. Don't get caught up in all this talk about middle class, middle class, middle class. Yeah, I'm in the middle class, but God didn't come for the middle class. Amen. Jesus came to relieve the poor. Amen. He blessed me to be middle class to help him take burdens and pressures off the poor. But when all I do is talk about middle class, I bought into the lie. I bought into the lie, and there's no Christ in it. Whole bunch of religious symbols, but there's no Christ in it. Whole bunch of form of godliness, but no power in it. It sounds churchy, it looks churchy, it appears churchy, but there's no power in it. What did the disciples do when they walked and a man was laying in the ditch? They said, still ain't go to heaven, but such as I have, take up your bed and walk. What did he do when he just said, take up your bed and walk? He empowered him to get up and do for himself. Empowered him to get up and make a living for himself. He says, you saw it happening and you did nothing to stop it. And then 12 through 14 closes out this way. He says, you messed up. And because of what you did, your chickens will come home to roost. And he says, you saw your relatives being invaded, and you didn't lift a hand to help. They were taken away from their land. Placed all over. They were taken away from their land. And you saw them suffering, and you did nothing to help. Well, what did I do? Y'all remember the person where, when Jesus, he said, when Jesus told him, depart from me, I know you're not. When he was like, Jesus, what you mean what I did? You saw me when I saw you when I was hungry. What do you mean I saw you? I don't even remember seeing you, Jesus. This is my first time seeing you. That's right. This your first time seeing me. That thing that you thought you saw, who you thought you were serving wasn't even me. That image you made up, that religion that wasn't even me. That wasn't even the real thing. You're right. This is the first time you saw it because your heart was never right. Everything that taught Christian ain't Christian. Everything that claimed Christ ain't. The devil's no Christ. And he says in 12, he says, you shouldn't have done this. You shouldn't have gloated when they exalted. He says you should not have done a whole lot of things, but you did them anyway. There's some things that's being done and folks shouldn't do, but they're doing them anyway. There's some ways that people are acting that they shouldn't have, but they're doing it anyway. But we can still smile because God's word will not return unto him void. There's a big rift right now with the United Methodist Church, and I'm not going to speak on either side. I'm not even going to deal with it right now. That's another sermon. But what I will tell you is that everybody deserves respect. What I will tell you is that everybody everybody needs to be treated with humanity. Now, how you determine what you do and how you do, we can work all of that out. But I tell you, the church is real guilty of looking down on men. The church is real guilty of looking down on what they deemed as distant relatives. The church is real guilty of looking down and prejudging. There's a guy that this country voted in. And he talked about people from S-hole countries. All them countries, the folk got skin color that look like mine. But then they get up and want to defend this man and bring a little happy black girl. To say he ain't a racist. You can always find your one. Just because you can find one, that don't, you gotta look in the mirror. How are you treating people as relates to housing, as relates to the word that you say, as relates to NFL players that you call their mothers, you call their mothers out of their name? How are you treating? Your chickens will come home to roost. It ain't a promise from Rawls. It's a promise from God. He says you're doing stuff that you shouldn't do. And he says, I'm going to run through some things that you're doing that you shouldn't do, but you're doing them anyway. He says you shouldn't have gloated when they exiled your relatives. He says you shouldn't have gloated and you shouldn't have got excited when they exiled your relatives, when they displaced your relatives, when they dispersed them all alone. He says you shouldn't have gloated. But you sat back and you gloated because you didn't like the people of Judah anyway. And so you sat back and you gloated. And he says, not only did you sit back and gloat when they exiled your relatives, he said you should not have rejoiced when the people of Judah suffered misfortune. He says you became excited. The president of this country said, black folk need to vote for him because what you have to lose anyway. You already jacked up, your life messed up, I don't care about you. All the systems come against you. He said, what do you have to lose? And there are people that call themselves Christians that sit and wave banners and yell, yay. God's going to say you should not have rejoiced when the people of Judah suffered from misfortune. He says you should not have spoken arrogantly in their terrible time of trouble. You should have spoken like you were so talking about pulling yourself up by your own bootstrap when they were not even given bootstraps. Brought them here over 400 years ago. We were in slavery longer than we've been free. We were in slavery and Jim Crow for longer than we were free. Slavery from the 1600s, late 1800s, Jim Crow from the late 1800s to the 1960s, over 400 years, only 55 years out of Jim Crow, and you talking about pulling up by your own bootstrap. Didn't even get a pair of boots, you gave me sandals, but you're arrogant about bootstraps. But I'm going to get my bootstraps one day. Going to get my bootstraps one day. But he says, but those of you Edomites that sat by and watched it happen. I tell people all the time that racism, I can't really feel it in my life because I'm blessed, but because I'm not blind, because I'm not aloof. I see systems that hurt my people. And because of it, whether or not it hurts me directly or not, I'm going to fight against it because it touches people that are connected to me. It touches humans that were created by God. And that's why I stand against it. And he says, and you sat there and spoke arrogantly about what you did and how you did it. You know what? I'm blessed and I'm highly favored, but I know that God is not a respecter of person. And so I don't take my situation and my wife's situation and think that I'm better than somebody else. Because if it had not been for the grace of God, there go I. And I don't know about spite of me. Somebody say yeah. He said you should not have gloated when they exiled your relatives. You should not have rejoiced when the people of Judah suffered misfortune. You should not have spoken arrogantly in their terrible time of trouble. He said you should not have plundered the land of Israel when they were suffering. You went in and took their stuff when they were vulnerable. You went in and exploited them when they were vulnerable. I thank God because in the end, God is going to have the last word. There are folk that take advantage of your suffering. There are payday lenders that charge out of the way interest rates because of your struggle. Because you have to work on a job only making $10 an hour and can't even pay rent in St. Augustine, Florida. If your rent exceeds your income by 30%, you're already in a bad place. But there are people that take advantage of it. Charge you more to buy a car, charge you more to get credit, charge you more to do anything, and you're already in a place, a messed up situation. And God says that you should not have plundered from the land of Israel. Not only should you not plunder, but you should not have seized their wealth when they were suffering. When they were going through, you took their wealth, you took it for yourself, and God says one day there's going to be a price to pay. Somebody say yeah. Somebody say yeah. You should not have stood at the crossroads and killing those who tried to escape. Can I tell you, everybody in this country that's tried to do good, that had a big name, they destroyed. Abraham Lincoln, I know he had his faults, and I know he had his ways, but when he signed the Emancipation Declaration, can I tell you that they took his life? Can I tell you that Emmett Till, he worked hard, he fought hard, he suffered for other folk, and can I tell you they took his life? Can I tell you that Dr. King, he could have sat home with his family and enjoyed his life, but he fought for others to have a right to ride on buses, to live in neighborhoods, to have equality with everyone else. Can I tell you they took his life? Malcolm X, many don't like his approach, but he said by any means necessary. And I tell you what, if you threaten me, I ain't turning the other cheek. If you threaten me, I'm gonna get justice by any means necessary. You just gotta deal with it. But guess what? They took his life. He says you took your celebrated and stood there at the crossroads where they killed those that tried to escape. If you want to be hated, you want to be ridiculed, you want to be despised, stand up for righteousness. If you want to be turned against, you want to be demonized, stand up for righteousness. The reporter asked me, Reverend Rawls, how does it feel that somebody took their hard-earned money and made posters with you looking like a devil with a pitchfork and a tail and put them all around town? I said, I take it as a badge of honor. Somebody say yeah. I don't want you to like me if you're against me. I don't want you to like me if you can't stand with me. Somebody say yeah. Somebody say yeah. In the last one he said, you should not have captured the survivors and handed them over. There's some folk in this world today that if you try to do right and you're trying to speak up, they'll work with folk to try to bring you down and turn you in. But I tell you what, don't be discouraged and don't be dismayed. God will take care of you. He closed it out in chapter 15 and he said this, I know what they did. I know what they did. And the chickens will come home to roost. There's some folk in the church that ain't doing right. Folk all around you that
loose. Somebody say yeah. If you sit by and watch Babylon destroy our friends and never lift a finger, God says you gonna pay the price. You should not have done what you did, but you did it anyway. But he says in 15 that the day is near to be near. It is not here yet, but it's close enough for me to shout. To be near, it is not here yet, but it's close enough for me to smell it. I can smell liberty in the air. I can smell justice in the air. You think I hold my nose up because I'm boring, because I'm arrogant, because I'm big? I hold my nose up because I smell liberty in the air. I smell justice in the air. Somebody say yeah. Somebody say yeah. He said the day is near when I, the Lord, will judge the godless nations as you have done to Israel. So it will be done to you. All your evil deeds will fall back on your heads. I got a pastor friend in St. Augustine. He said, Reverend Rawls, you keep fighting and fighting. We need to do some talking. I said, I done as much talking as I'm gonna do. I'll stand with you and let you talk. I ain't talking no more. Going back to the enemy's camp to take back what the enemy stole. And so I have to say, God said that the day of the Lord is coming and is near. And all the evil deeds, they're gonna fall back on the Edomites' head. What am I saying? I ain't going back and forth with you Edomites. God will take care of me. I ain't going back and forth with you Edomites trying to prove what's going on. God's gonna take care of me. And so I smile. Somebody say yeah. Like a phenomenal woman. Like I got all. Like I got all well. Something in my backyard. I smile like my daddy is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. I ain't going back and forth with you Edomites. Somebody say yeah. Smile, saint. Smile, saint. Because God has been good to you. Smile, saint. Smile, saint. Because the joy of the Lord is your strength. I can fight and smile at the same time. How you doing? Because the day of the Lord is near. And I ain't going back and forth with you Edomites. Say yeah. Say yeah. Smile. Smile in the valley. Smile while you're going through. Smile in the furnace. Say yeah. Say yeah. Say yeah. I ain't going back and forth with you Edomites. Say yeah. Say yeah. Say yeah. Say yeah. Has the Lord been good to you? Has the Lord made a way? You ought to make it in the bed and put a big smile on your face. I ain't going back and forth with you Edomites. Smile, saints. Smile, saints. Smile, saints. Smile, saints. Say yeah. Say yeah. Come on, put a big smile on your face. And give God some praise. And you're back to the Lord, right? Don't stand to me. He's on the throne. Don't allow what you're going through to steal your joy. You got to fight the fight, but don't let it take your joy. I ain't going back and forth trying to prove what I know. Have you ever been in
I know I'm saved now, so I'll tell it. I'll tell it. God already knew about it. My first marriage. Some people can walk out right now because they can't believe it, Pastor. I'm human. I'm just as human as y'all. I probably came from worse places than y'all. Done worse things. But I remember I cheated on my first wife with the Black Beach Week down at Daytona. I met this woman. She's from Jacksonville. I live in Gainesville. So I get a good cheater. I went in, bought a hotel in Jacksonville. That was a Suites. That's why I did my dirt. Well, the dirt was over and I was through with that. But you know, it was the Suites. Back then you didn't have email. This was the early 90s, late 80s. You didn't have email. Mr. Sweet sent me a thank you letter to the house. Thank you for your stay. Got home one day from work and my wife gave me my bed. Notice it was already open. Big thank you letter for Mr. Sweets. Well, got a choice. You need a bed? A good cheater know you never do that. Or you can lie. That's good for Edomite to lie. A lie. No. Don't know what they talking about. We went back and forth till she just gave up. Because I wore out. She going back and forth with me. There's some stuff going on in our lives. We going back and forth trying to prove to people what they doing to us. You're going to wear your own self out. I ain't going back and forth with you Edomites. I know what's going on. I know you claim these people were great preachers and great men of God. But I saw their ministry. I see their ministry. I see what they stand for. I see the foolishness that they applaud. I see the foolishness that they support. I ain't going back and forth with you Edomites. That's sin. That's evil that you're supporting. And when you make up your mind that you ain't going back and forth, now the frustration is gone. Now you were so bitter and your blood pressure up and all this stress, alcohol and out because of stress. But now that you stop going back and forth because you know the truth, now you decide I'm not going back and forth. Now you can put a big smile on your face. And that's where your power comes back. That's where your joy comes back. Your children, your grandchildren, your parents, they need to see a smile. Yeah, you're serious and you take life serious, but you're not going to take my joy. There are people in my life that depends on my joy. There's people in your life that depends on your joy. And you're going to affect their lives if you're always frustrated and bitter. I ain't going back and forth with you Edomites.